Welcome to the Grimfrost Podcast.
Going back a little bit, you already talked a little bit about Johan Renck and his importance to the whole show in whole. But can you tell me a little bit more about his influence on Vikings, like the series, especially in the beginning, and also maybe like how he interacted with the actors?
That's a great question because he's one person that I feel really lucky to talk about because I mean I think he's taught me so much as well. Because you talked about how much did you know about the Vikings when I took on the show, and Johan was great for my playing of Rollo too. I mean, he was like he saw straight away. He said, "You're a big guy, and you're playing the big guy." Rollo is meant to be. All the characters say he's like a fearless warrior. No one can beat him in battle. You've got big shoes to fill here, Clive. But he was great because in the first kind of we were lucky. We had like couple of weeks of, about a week of, like, they call them like camera tests. So you do the scenes, but they don't necessarily use them. It's like to see the colors, the costumes, everything, just to make sure the look and the tone and everything is right. And sometimes they'll use those. A couple of them were used. And he would come to me and he'd be like, "Why are you doing this? Why? I'm big, Rollo." Oh, he's like, "Just be. You are big. Let all the other guys be. Oh, we're big. We're tough guys. Big. We want to take on Rollo. Just be." And it's like we talked about it. Let them come to you. You're just Rollo. And I'd do this acting, and I'd be like, do a speech, and I go, you go, why did you sniff there? You think it makes you tough when you sniff? Oh, I'm a big man. He's like, no. And he would take me to one side, and this is what I loved more than anything. It's like working with Ingvar Bergman. He would put into your mind a subtext that no one would really sense if you were watching it at home. But it would give you something different to play in this scene, and he would tinker. He was like a mad scientist. He would just be like. I remember I did a scene. It was actually one of the first scenes when Ragnar goes out to pee, and I'm left with Lagertha, and I touch her, and she's like, "You were not so great a man, great warrior, not so great a man." And I'm sitting there asking about the children, and he just one take, and he just goes, "You hate these children." I'm like, "No, I don't. No, because me and Michael have talked about Björn, I'm his uncle, and he's like, in this take, you hate them because of everything you haven't got. They could be your children." She's sitting there, and he's tinkering, and you do it, and it's always in private, and I love that. It's never like, "Hey, I'm just going to direct, and everyone's going to." He will like, and then you'll go, and you'll go and do it, and you'll go, "Wow, it just felt so different." He will like, "See." Probably I'm not, and he'll be like, "I'm not going to use that take at all." But now you've stopped trying to do the same thing over and over and over again. Now I've fucked with your head. So now you're a bit confused. Now let's do another one, and then something new will come out. And he was also very good with me anyway. I don't know what he was like with other people, but he would sometimes go, "Why are you giving me this shit?" In private, take me around the corner. "Oh shit, it's horrible. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "No, don't do that. Just do it." And he'd give you his note. "Go back out there, do it. We're doing it again." And then we do it again. And sometimes you go, "Still fucking shit. No." You'd be like, "Oh." It's like trying to please the teacher. And then he would never say, "Brilliant, well done." He would just go, "Moving on." And he'd give you the thumbs up. And that was it. The thumbs up from Johan was like, "I did it. He was very good. And I think he put my character on a course for success. Because without him, if I had the wrong director to start with, the biggest job I had, he set me on that course to just go, even like, don't be in a scene if you've got nothing to give. He was also very good at going, "Look, there's 10 Vikings on this long ship, 10 character names. They're all trying to do stuff because they haven't got the character you've got. One guy wants to man the rigging. One guy wants to row. I want to let them. If there's nothing you can add to this scene, just get out of it. Just try and just sit, read a book, whatever. It's just because then, what's Rollo doing? He's not manning the rigging. He's like, "Where's Rollo? Where's Rollo?" So when you come on screen and you have something, they can't wait to see Rollo again. And he's the guy that instilled all that in me. Just let it breathe. Let the audience come to you. There's no rush to tell everybody what's going on with your character because you see the bigger picture. You see 6 seasons. You don't see 1 season. Yeah, he's great. Really, really amazing.
So did he? Now I have to ask, because I'm sure you know. But did he ever play any Staccabo music for you?
Staccabo. He didn't want us to know. And I remember when we found out, he had a personal assistant, Sebastian, and I think we were down the pub and we found out, and then he was like, "Who told you?" But he's great, and he's just very talented. I mean, Robin, the singer, came down to set. He's one of his friends, and he was very connected to music and fashion and things. He is a bit of a mad professor. But the other thing you asked me as well, what he added to the show, like learn the acting, is that he reinforced that we were doing something different. You know, just because you've seen Braveheart and William Wallace and his men run into battle going, "Ah!" with their painted faces and their barbarians and their crazy hair, their long hair, it doesn't mean that's what the Vikings are going to do, and it doesn't mean that's what we're going to do. If we're going to do a new show, we're going to make it stand out from the rest, even if it's not historically accurate. A lot of the time, it was like, you know, it would try and be like when it comes to the sacrifices, for instance. We're going to do a Viking sacrifice. We're not going to just have a head on a chopping board because we saw Mary Queen of Scots. We're just not a chopper. The Vikings want to see, you know, the executioner, look them eye to eye, and have a chance of going to Valhalla. So sometimes it was about following what actually the Vikings. Sometimes it was just, let's make our show stand out from the rest. So even if the Vikings were, you know, it was like they're going to be the Navy SEALs. So let's have the Saxons run into battle on that beach, terrified of us, and let's just have us walk, boom, boom, intensity. And as we get closer, the axe comes back, and then when we get close enough to clash shields, death, murder, destruction. And then, you know, the whites of the eyes, then it's terrifying. And he was like, I've not seen that. Have you? No. Well, we're going to be the first to do it. And then he was great at that. And then it empowered us after he left. So I say, I'm not going to name the director, but there is a story where a director came who was more of a journeyman who hadn't done his research. I mean, brilliant director. It's nothing to do with his craft. It's about, we're making this different show and we've got this responsibility. And we had a sacrifice scene. You know, when Björn's coming of age, and we came in the morning, and it was all set up for what looked like the head on the chopping block, and that's, you know, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, we're off, next scene. And we kind of said, "Nah, what's this?" And he was like, "Says it in the script, doesn't it? You know, we're doing a sacrifice. You're gonna chop his head off. You know, and you stand here, and you stand here, and you pass it." And we're like, whoa. Has Michael approved this? And he's like, yep. And we're like, I don't think he has. Or if he has, I don't think he's seen this setup. And he's like, "Oh, how do you?" I'm like, "Well, the Vikings would have looked each other in the eyes, and, you know, maybe even just hold his hair up or something. We got to just make it different, make it not seem like we. How do you know all this stuff?" And it was me. I said, "Because I read some books." I mean, like, did you not bother reading anything about Vikings before you came here? And we're on season 2 or something like that. And then he takes a phone call with Michael. It's really early in the morning. No one wants to wake Michael up because he's obviously in England and he's got some days off and he's writing the next scripts. We don't hear, I wasn't privy to the phone call, but I did see him pacing around talking to Michael and doing a lot more. You know, he was quite ruthless with us. And then we see this all like, yep, yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, okay, yeah. He's like, "So we're just going to take an extra 20 minutes and set this up." And we're like, "We've won." But then he got a little shirty and he turned around and he said, like, we're like, because look, we're trying to do something different here. And he said, "It's just a TV show." And Gustav went, "Not to us, it isn't." And I was like, you know, it was like, that's what we've kept. Our cast is really loyal to each other. And, you know, we're like, you know, what do they say? The links in a chain.
Yeah. It
was a really nice moment. That's why it's not about the director. It's more about that moment of unity that we all had. And we're making something different here.
Yeah, I mean, you're portraying a group of people. And you are a group of people, and you're there all the time.
Yeah.
As that group of people. So obviously you're going to have that. Like a director who just comes in to do a few shows,
Yeah.
they kind of have to listen to, I assume.